Welcome to the Today in History channel. In today's video we will talk about the day, March 26, 1953, the polio vaccine. Initially called infantile paralysis, and today popularly known as polio. Polio is a very contagious viral disease that affects, above all, the central nervous system. Its name comes from the Greek polios, gray, and myelós, spinal cord. The disease is produced by poliovirus and usually attacks children. Its contagion occurs through respiratory secretions or via the fecal route. Most polio infections are asymptomatic, which makes it very difficult to detect in time and fight it. In 1% of cases, the virus enters the central nervous system through the bloodstream. When infecting and destroying motor neurons in the spinal cord and brain, it usually causes muscle atrophy, acute flaccid paralysis, and, very often, deformity. In extreme cases, it can cause permanent paralysis or death, as the diaphragm comes to a standstill. The German Jacob Heine first described the disease in 1840. In the early 20th century, during a series of acute polio epidemics, attempts were made to establish various categories of polio to classify the extent and severity of the disease. Two basic patterns of polio infection were defined, one of lesser extent, which did not affect the central nervous system, called abortion polio, and full illness, with paralysis or not. Polio began to be controlled in 1949, when bacteriologist John Franklin Enders managed, in the laboratory, to make polioviruses grow inside tissues. Based on this technique, epidemiologist Jonas Edward Salk developed a vaccine for the three known types of poliovirus. After a series of clinical tests, Salk was able to confirm that it was safe in March 1953, and the following year it began to be inoculated by subcutaneous injection. Researcher Albert Bruce Sabin developed another polio vaccine that was administered orally and was called trivalent. Its use was authorized in 1964 and, due to its more comfortable application, it quickly replaced Salk's. In a short time, mass vaccination campaigns were carried out and, thanks to that, on June 21, 2002, the World Health Organization, WHO, declared that the European region was free of the polio virus. In America, eradication took place earlier. WHO officially declared the region free of the virus in 1994. The last case of polio diagnosed in Brazil was in 1990. In 1988, WHO undertook a worldwide eradication program, reducing the paralysis that, until then, affected about 1,000 children per day. Its number dropped to less than 1,000 cases in the whole of 2001. Currently, polio is active in less than 10 countries across the planet. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.